I don't know if you can hear that. But someone suggested that would be you, Mark, that I have the first few bars of Awful Tunes by Wonk Unit. So I asked Alex yesterday, and Alex said yeah. So I hope you guys are having a good Thursday. What is it today? April the 9th. The cat's decided to join us. So you'll have to put up with me brushing my nose about 3 million times because she's molting and her hair will go... Hello, over there. Her hair will go up my nose and down my throat probably. Oh, like that. Yeah. So I've been spending a lot of time in the garden this morning. So this afternoon. So the cat hasn't had her normal sit on my lap cuddles. So obviously as soon as I've sat down, she's decided that yes, I'm here. That now is the time. So this is Pudding. She's a rescue cat who's been beaten up by her uncle, I believe. Also, the story went at the time. You can't even see my sign behind. It does say part 14 behind. Can you believe? Oh my God, that we've made it to part 14. It's kind of weird, but I guess in a way, sort of getting used to it a bit now. I don't know about everybody else. I am missing seeing people face to face, having cuddles face to face and chats face to face. I must admit, last night we had a book group online Zoom meeting. So normally it would be at the pub, but instead it was on Zoom. I actually managed to still get a little bit inebriated. Which was really lovely. I had some lovely mermaid gin that I'd bought on while I was in the Isle of Wight last April. I think it was May last year, which was really nice. Really, really nice gin. Definitely want to get some more of that. I've had a lovely sort of few hours sitting in the garden, and at one point quite a few of us were in the garden, but now everyone seems to have travelled indoors. I don't know what they're doing, but I'm speaking to you. So, yeah, was a bit of a busy day yesterday, I think, in a way that normally I'm not used to doing loads of things anymore, but sort of have book group, and we had book group for a good hour and a half, which was actually really nice to catch up, and we normally only have book group for once a month. But this time we're just going to have it again in 2 weeks' time, because I think it's really important to try to not to be too insular, even if you are insular. Normally we'd have some social interactions, and I think it's really important that have a couple of chats with people on the phone, message people if you haven't seen them or they don't have a social, a presence online. Just check in with people, see if they're all right. Just for a little chat. Doesn't have to be a long time, like a few minutes. Yeah. So what am I doing tonight? I don't know what I'm doing. I think there's meditation on tonight. I may or may not do that, but I'm still really enjoying the guitar lessons online. And actually didn't quite do as much as I wanted to last night, mainly because I went for a dog walk before book group, and I sort of only did 10 minutes on the guitar, but 10 minutes is better than nothing. I'm not suggesting that anyone learn something new. I had started learning it just over a year ago. But, as many of you know, my guitar teacher who was teaching me, who was a boyfriend at the time, was then a sociopath pathological liar, so they all came to an end. So I'm really enjoying them online, though, because I can go back and do something again and again and again. And there's no critique. I'm my own sort of critique, really, which is really cool. Yeah, I think it's sort of lots of wondering of how long this is going to go on. And I think it's important to think about it, but don't get caught up in it too much, because I do think it's going to be a while longer. I do think it's going to be at least 4 to 6 weeks. And I think that finding ways, however that is, preferably healthily, to deal with that is a good idea. I was struck, I've spent an hour this afternoon, I don't know about anybody else. I have quite a lot of clothes. I like a lot of different looks, and I like to have autumn, summer, spring, clothes. So I've just changed my clothes around from my winter, autumn to my spring, summer clothes. Yeah, I don't spend a load of money on clothes. I get a lot of it from charity shops and a lot of it second hand. So it's sort of nice to have different looks to go with. But I realised as, I was sort of trying them on, because my body shape changes quite a lot throughout the last few years. And I was trying some of them on and I was kind of getting a little bit disheartened that some of them don't fit. And I realised that it's like in my head I was like, I've got to go Connecticut, because I was trying to get healthier before this all kicked off. I was swimming a lot more and stuff like that, and I realised it's actually sort of important to not get too wrapped up in the whole kind of trying to change our bodies or do something that we were trying to do before, because as I've said before, this is unprecedented. We can't do much but sort of do as we're told to stay in. Yes, I know I can work out in the house, but sort of snacking has become a bit of a comfort in a way, I guess. Definitely was a boredom thing for the first couple of weeks, and I'm just trying to not get caught up in my head that I have to fit into some of my summer clothes that I don't currently fit into, and make it something else to worry about and be anxious about at the moment. And in fact, I've just seen your comment, Mark, seasonal fashion. Well, some of us have seasonal fashion. I do actually happen to have Punks Are Hard by Wonk Unit. I couldn't dare stand up at the minute to show you because the cat would rip into my legs despite the fact that she's sitting on a cushion. And she spent such a long time getting comfortable. Yes, so I like lots of different clothes and I like lots of different looks. And I as I was saying, I did start to get into this head thing of that my body is too curvy, and I've often over the years actually had problems with body image and self-esteem. And yes, you know what, I know I'm not bad looking, and that's okay, and other people say it, but it doesn't actually help when you have your own story that you tell yourself in your head. So I just went, okay, this is what we're going to do. And so I tried on the summer clothes that I knew are the ones that would or wouldn't fit, and the rest I've just put into the wash to refresh, because they've been stuck in a cupboard drawer since last year. And so I've actually just put them away, all the clothes that don't fit, and just gone, okay, well, they might fit again at some point, and I quite like some of them, so I'm keeping them. And I've also sorted some out for charity shop, which actually every time I've worn certain clothes, I've sort of not felt comfortable in them. And I think it's just important just to get rid of stuff like that. Obviously, all the charity shops are closed at the moment. So we have a box in our hallway of things to go to charity shop, which is being added to constantly as we're all sorting out our stuff at home. Self-esteem is a really weird thing, because you can look however you look and be attractive to other people. But unless you actually feel it yourself and have an innate love for yourself and are settled within however you look, then it becomes a bit of a mind fuck, doesn't it? The whole kind of how we're supposed to look, how we're supposed to act when we get to certain ages. As a woman, now in my mid to late 40s, I feel like sometimes I get a little bit caught up in the trap of how others are supposed to perceive us. And actually what matters is it's not how others perceive us, it's how we perceive ourselves. That doesn't mean we should not pay attention to what is being said to us, but only so long as they're things that we can take to heart and use as adding to a good self-esteem, rather than just not. I think I've had so many hairstyles over the years and so many looks that I'm just going to keep doing that, because it's something that actually I find fun. Years ago, I had so many looks and looked so many different ways because actually I had a really bad self-esteem. So I think I was trying to search for the thing that would make me happy, the clothes that would make me happy. And of course, it's not, new clothes do make me happy, that's for sure. But only because I love new clothes, and actually what makes me happy is feeling good in the clothes that I want to wear. I'm also kind of a little bit of giving less fuck stage at this time of life. I don't care what you think about what I'm wearing. If I want to wear something and it makes me feel good, I'm going to do it. It's like these whole... I stopped reading fashion magazines, not because I don't enjoy fashion, it's just because all of the models were people that didn't look like me. And I'm never gonna look like I'm 5'3" and 3/4 or whatever it is now. I'm sure I've probably shrunk. I'm sort of a size 14 to 16. I don't know how much I weigh. I think it's something like 80 kilograms or something. But they're not important. What's important about it is how I feel about that all. And I started to eat a bit more healthily and work out a bit more, because actually I wanted to support my body as it gets older to be the best body it can be as I get older. But that's my personal journey. That's no one else's, and it's actually no one else's business. I really hate unsolicited advice. If I've asked you advice, great. This is brilliant. But I spent a lot of time of my life worrying about how my arms looked and how my legs looked. I didn't wear skirts or shorts, I think, maybe until my mid-30s. And even then I would wear leggings or very dark tights, so it just kind of looked like I had things on. I have veins on my legs, of which I've had veins since I was younger. And then having children, I've always had a nice squishy belly. A few years ago I did go down to a very small size, and actually it didn't suit me. I looked ill. That's probably more to do with the fact that I was also very anxious with the person I was with at the time, because they were abusive, and I went down to such a small size because actually they were making me so nervous that I didn't eat properly, or the food didn't stay in, if you get my drift. So self-esteem, it's a weird one, isn't it? Because how do you get it? How did I get it? And I got it through actually a fuck ton of therapy. And I also got it by really working on the inner parts of myself. And I think when the inner parts are happier and whole, no matter what is going on in the outside world. I mean, we're not all happy all the time, but we can be a certain state of settled. And I think that's probably what I aim for on sort of a weekly basis. I do overthink a lot, and I still do that. I don't think that's ever something that's gonna sort of go away. But I do find there's this thing that we taught at the Buddhist Centre on the one class I did, and that's finding mind the gap in how we go down the path with some things and we think of them the same thing, but finding that gap before the path becomes one that we don't enjoy, and it becomes part of a cycle rather than actually sort of dealing with it. Is that when I was going through my summer clothes, hello over there, when I was going through my summer clothes, I started thinking a certain way, and it's a way that I think it's a way that I was conditioned to think. And then I found the gap in that thinking. I was like, okay, this is what we're actually going to do. We're gonna wash the clothes that fit and have those clothes, and then the clothes that don't, we're just going to put away, and maybe they will fit at some point, and maybe they won't. And that's how we went. Yeah, so, oh God, I've got so much hair up my nose with this cat, but she really does love me sometimes. How much cuteness is that right now? Furry cuteness, but cuteness it is indeed. So I hope that some of you are managing to get some sun. I do think it's important to try to get some, and I hope you're managing to get some exercise if possible, because I know there's a lot of people out there that live in flats and attics, and you have to work out some workarounds to get some of that good old vitamin D. I was laying in the garden earlier, and I was watching the blue tits in the cherry blossom next door. And in Japan it is cherry blossom season, and there is it's called sakura. And in Japan they have sakura season, and you can go to certain places, and I'm probably saying that really badly, sorry, and you can go and sort of have picnics under the cherry blossom, and you can go and view the cherry blossom, and they have a lot of trees. In fact, in Bedgebury, Pinerton, which is actually just a really nice place to go anyway, they have a row of cherry trees that was given to the UK by Japan as part of sort of intercontinent relations, and they add a cherry tree each year. I'm not sure how many cherry trees it is now, but I went a few years ago with Sophia and her other half, and we went and walked down the cherry trees, and they were quite small at that point. I think they'd been there for 7 years at that point, and we were hoping to do that this year, but I guess when we go there, eventually the cherry trees will have no blossom anymore, which is a shame. But it's a nice place to visit anyway. Weirdly, years ago, I actually went to see a Plan B concert there. And I like Plan B. I don't like the newer stuff. I like the Ill Manners. And the Plan B one, which has the song on it, She Said, but I can't remember what the name of the album is. But yeah. So I hope you're... oh, she's got her tongue sticking out. That's so weird when cats do that. Really? You want your nose scratched? I don't know what animals you guys have got out there, and the snakes did make an appearance on Sunday. I don't know if the small dog has. Maybe I should have the dogs up here as special guests one day. I'll probably one at a time, to be fair. But yeah, so I hope that you have a lovely Thursday. Obviously, Talking Bollocks is just going to go on and on and on and on, probably, and until we're out of this. I'm probably gonna do my guitar lesson later. Watch a little bit of telly, or not so much into the telly at the moment. I ate. There's lots of memes going on around about shaving heads. Already done that. It's 3 weeks now, and it's Action Man stage. I'm really trying hard not to bleach it at the moment though, because I think it would look really cool. But watch this space, because that will probably happen anyway. Out pudding, don't bite me. And Imogen made banana bread yesterday, and actually she made a really banging curry, which is really, really nice. So I'll probably have that for dinner at some point. So anyway, stay safe, guys. And thank you for tuning in to Talking Bollocks. And thanks again to Alex for letting me use Awful Jeans by Wonk Unit as my little song. Shall I have it just playing out the beginning bit again? It's very quiet, that first bit. I don't know if you can hear that. Have a lovely day, guys. And I'll speak soon.